Hi guys, Mrnewmobile here. Apple iPad Pro 2021 release date, price, and specs. Please subscribe followed by the bell. You can also keep up on Facebook, Twitter by clicking the links in the description. A new iPad Pro 2021 model is expected to drop soon, but how will Apple entice shoppers to spend over $1,000 on a new iPad? The big changes we're hearing are on the inside. These changes may include new screen technologies, adopting the Apple M1 chip, and faster cellular connectivity. If so, the next iPad Pro would easily keep its spot on our best tablets list. The new iPad Pro is expected to be revealed in March 2021. Just like last year's updates, this date doesn't just make sense with recent history, but has been floated by Japanese news site Makotakara. March is one of Apple's primary iPad release windows, and the company has launched new iPads in March since 2016. The most recent example was the previous iPad Pro, which added the LiDAR camera and the A12Z Bionic processor. Expect Apple's pricing for the 11-inch iPad Pro $750 and 12.9-inch iPad Pro $999 to stay put. The last two generations of iPad Pro tablets stuck to this pricing, and everything we're seeing suggests that will continue. The introduction of the mid-range iPad Air gives Apple no reason to lower the iPad Pro's price. Similarly, Apple doesn't seem to be adding much in this year's iPad Pro that would give them an excuse to charge more. The big rumors about the iPad Pro 2021 tell us that Apple is focusing on the tablet's internal components. Since last year, we've seen speculation that the iPad Pro will be the first of Apple's iPads with 5G. Now that 5G is in the iPhone 12, it's logical that Apple would want to use those components in its iPad Pro as well. Deep inside a post from casemaker and render publisher Pig2, which mostly focuses on renders of the iPad Pro, there's more chatter of internal upgrades. The post notes a possibility we're starting to hear in whispers: the new iPad Pro may rock a version of the Apple Silicon chip seen in the MacBook Air with M1. The company could also just go with an upgraded version of the A12Z chip in the current iPad Pro, and call it the A13Z. Makotakara reports that Apple is leaving most of the new iPad Pro housing design unchanged. That means we should expect it to look like the previous iPad Pro, just with tweaks such as slightly slimmer bezels and fewer speaker holes. The camera bump may also protrude less. A lot of the similarities between 2020 iPad Pros and the iPad Pro 2021 are traced to leaked renders of the new iPad Pro's design. The 12.9-inch iPad Pro 2021 will be 0.5 mm thicker, which may be hard for the untrained eye to notice. That said, it could let Apple switch out its current display technology for mini LED screens. The iPad Pro has been rumored to be going into production with mini LED panels since last summer. This change would move Apple away from LCD displays and deliver improved contrast ratios, truer black tones and improved brightness. This would be made possible thanks to smaller LEDs. As the mini LED name implies, Apple may be considering a new Magic Keyboard as well. A close reading of the patents suggests that the Magic Keyboard could feature microphones, which could be used for better audio when video conferencing. Let's talk about what else could be going on under the hood of the iPad Pro 2021. We would love to see Apple put a Touch ID fingerprint sensor under the screen. The iPad Air's lock button fingerprint reader is a nifty touch, but an under-the-screen fingerprint reader might get people to pay more and prevent the iPad Air from cannibalizing the iPad Pro's sales. Here's a change that's less likely: a folding display. That would be impossible without changes to the chassis and internals, but having seen the Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Fold, we're curious to see what Apple would do with a folding iPad. It's one major way the iPad Pro could continue to stand out. Of course, that could easily raise its price as well. There's one rumor that we've heard more than any other about the iPad Pro 2021, and that's that it will have a mini LED screen. This is a type of LCD screen, but one that offers improved contrast ratio and color reproduction over standard LCD displays. It's also less likely to suffer screen burn-in than OLED, which is currently the display type of choice on high-end phones, stating that the lens glass will now be flush with the camera protrusion, and that the number of speaker holes has been reduced by 2/3, but that the design will otherwise be similar, though they additionally claimed that the iPad Pro 12.9 2021 will be 0.5 mm thicker than its predecessor, which would make it 6.4 mm thick. That is it guys. What features do you like to see on the upcoming iPad Pro? Let me see your comment below. If you are new here, please subscribe, like the video, comment. Thanks for watching. See you on my next video. Peace out.